It was a cold day on a lonesome Mississippi farm. 4-year-old Oprah Winfrey sat on the back porch, churning up some butter for the family table, and watching as her grandmother poked at clothes floating in an old black pot. Wooden clothespins decorated Grandma Hattie Mae Lee's apron. As she lifted the heavy, wet laundry out of the water and hung each piece on the line, Hattie told her granddaughter, "Pay attention now. You're going to have to learn to do this someday." Oprah didn't answer, but a voice inside her head said plainly, "No, Grandma, I won't." There was no reason for Oprah Winfrey to think that she wouldn't have to earn her living taking in laundry like her grandmother, or cleaning houses like her mother, who lived up north. Born on January 29, 1954, Oprah was the great-great-granddaughter of slaves. And in Mississippi, where she was growing up, segregation still shaped and bent the lives of African Americans. Her family life was unsettled as well. Oprah lived with her grandparents, Hattie and Ernest Lee. Hattie was loving but strict. Ernest was a frightening figure who would throw things at Oprah or shoo her away with his cane. Oprah's parents weren't married. They barely knew each other. As an adult, Oprah said that her birth was the result of a one-day fling under an oak tree. Her father, Vernon Winfrey, a 20-year-old soldier stationed at Fort Rucker, Alabama, didn't even know he had a baby until he received a newspaper clipping announcing the birth. Her mother, Bernita, 18, attached a curt note that said, "Send clothes." Life didn't start out easy for Oprah, an illegitimate child born poor and black, and harder times were to come. Yet even as a child, she never saw her future as limited in any way. Oprah has said, as she looks back to those early days, listening to her elders talk about the hardships they endured, "I never believed that would be my life. I believed I belonged to someone or something bigger than myself, my family, even Mississippi. I believed I was God's child. Therefore, I could do anything." Not many people can say they have a name that no one else does, but it's a fair bet that Baby Winfrey was the first Oprah. Her great-aunt Ida was given the honor of naming her. A church-going woman, Aunt Ida decided that she would name the baby after the biblical Orpah from the Old Testament's book of Ruth. But folks misheard the name and started calling the infant Oprah. It stuck. The town where Oprah Winfrey was born has an unusual name, too, Kosciuszko. 70 miles north of Mississippi's capital of Jackson, set between the Big Black and Pearl Rivers, it takes its name from Thaddeus Kosciuszko, a Polish general who fought in the American Revolution. Kosciuszko was so passionately opposed to the soul-killing practice of slavery that had taken hold in the fledgling country. He left money in his will to buy the freedom of Thomas Jefferson's slaves. There is an irony in the fact that the town named for him was in the deepest South, where life for black people was difficult at best and tragic at worst, both before and after the Civil War. Oprah lived outside of Kosciuszko in a rickety old farmhouse so basic there was no indoor plumbing. To get there from town, visitors had to come up a dusty, unpaved road, and once they arrived, there wasn't much to see. It was just a small farm with a few animals and never-ending chores. Even a little girl like Oprah had to help. So she fed the hogs and took the cows out to pasture. The water she drew from the well was used for drinking and washing. There was plenty to eat, all of it grown on the farm. But money was in short supply, so there were few modern conveniences. No telephone, no television. "I never had a store-bought dress," Oprah remembered later. And it was lonely. The nearest neighbor was an elderly blind man. One night, Hattie had to scream for him when Ernest loomed menacingly over the bed where Hattie and Oprah slept. As for children, none lived nearby. So Oprah talked to the animals, the cattle, chickens, and hogs, and told them stories. Her one toy was a doll that Hattie had fashioned from a corn cob. As an adult, Oprah didn't remember that her mother had lived with her on the farm at all. It seemed as if she had always been gone. Actually, Vernita stayed on the farm until Oprah was about 4. But after the local cotton mills shut down, there was no longer any way for her to earn a living. "I wanted to leave Mississippi so I could get a job and take care of her," Vernita remembered later.